So in our present I bring coverage of our heights. Love that for everyone everywhere. So it's just known that the corporation of all tongue, color and people advise the decision of our heights that shall free everyone liberate fully everywhere. So by so doing now everyone does cooperate with the love that I heights to survive. Knowing that this world war exploding and the ways of love only will solve the problem. The heights of life comes in full. So it was silent. Love for nights.
On the ancient lands of Egypt and Ethiopia, tales of divine power and fierce protection have echoed through the ages. At the heart of these stories is Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess of war and healing, known as Nyahbinghi in the ancient cultures of Kush and Ethiopia. Her legacy transcends time and continues to inspire the Nyahbinghi house of the Rastafari tradition. Join I as we explore the mythology, history, and enduring spirit of Sekhmet. In the heart of ancient Egypt, Sekhmet emerged as a powerful deity. With the head of a lioness and the body of a woman, she embodied the dual forces of destruction and healing. According to myth, she was born from the eye of the sun god. Her name means the conquering lady. Sekhmet is given titles such as one before whom evil trembles and lady of slaughter. In the upper sections of the Nile, Sudan, Uganda, and ancient Ethiopia, Sekhmet was called Nyahbinghi. Sekhmet protected the pharaoh, the royal family, and the nation. Sekhmet, according to her mythology, was the wife of Ptah. She gave to a son named Atum. This was the original triad of gods. Joseph, Mary, and Jesus are the triad in the Christian tradition. Sekhmet is the incarnation of the lioness. She is the essence of the majesty, royalty, and power of the fierce lioness. In art, Sekhmet is depicted with shoulder-length dreadlocks on the head of a lioness, on the body of an African woman. There were tame lions kept in the temples dedicated to Sekhmet. Sekhmet mythology says that in the golden age of the world, Ra made himself a mortal man and came and established the throne of Ethiopia and Egypt. Ra ruled for so long that people lost track of how long he sat on the throne. Ra eventually got old. He was no longer effective as a warrior against Apophis, the dragon of evil, physically. Apophis, the dragon's mission, was to tear down all the good Ra had built and anything kissed by the sun. So, Apophis came up with the plan to infiltrate the souls of Africans. Many of our ancestors were possessed by the dragon and began to chit-chat and cause chaos and hate for Ra. Ra called a meeting with the High Council of Gods because Ra was ready to kill everything moving. The goddess Nun, the essence of water, spoke on the behalf of the council and humanity. Nun argued, "If you send forth the burning glance of your eye to slay mankind, it will turn the land of Ethiopia and the entire world into a desert. Make a power that will smite men and women only. Send a power that will burn the evil but not harm the good. Send out Nyahbinghi." Ra began to meditate on what Nun said. Ra's response was, I will not send my burning glance upon Africa. Instead, I will send my mother, my protector, the love of my heart, to protect my holy works. I will send Nyahbinghi. As Ra spoke, the dreadlock lioness sprang into being. Nyahbinghi, aka Sekhmet, sprang into being. Nyahbinghi headed straight to the battleground. She tore through Egypt, Ethiopia, Punt, Asmara, Mokabika, and even to Azania in the south. She slaughtered and devoured mankind until the Nile and Niger rivers ran red with blood and the earth beside it became desolate. Before long, the most wicked among men had been slain by Sekhmet. The remnant left prayed for mercy from Ra, and Ra spared them. Nyahbinghi, the majestic lady of power, the queens of Africa as she did in ancient times, is still dishing out judgment and fire through word, sound, and power. The spirit of Nyahbinghi was not confined to ancient times. In the early 20th century, Queen Nyahbinghi of Rwanda, also known as Muhumusa, emerged as a formidable leader against colonial oppression. She led a rebellion against the British, inspired by the same spirit of resistance and protection that characterized the ancient goddess Sekhmet.
Many stories have been formulated about Nyahbinghi, her existence and her lifetime. So now we are going to listen to the history of Nyahbinghi and her religion. So today we are going to enjoy the first part of our mission, which is going to talk about Nyahbinghi in human shape. So let's see first the existence of Nyahbinghi. Nyahbinghi is a historical figure who existed in the ancient Rwanda. Nyahbinghi was a girl who was born in King's Palace under the reign of Ndahiro II Chamatale, who ruled Rwanda from 1477 to 1510. She was the sister of Ruganzu Ndoli, who then became the king of Rwanda as a successor of Chamatale. No one knows when exactly she was born and when she died, but the truth is that she experienced mundane life as the daughter of king and the sister of Ruganzu Ndoli. And her lifetime can be looked at from the period of the kingdom of Ndahiro II Chamatale and that of Ruganzu II Ndoli. Let's see the ancestry of Nyahbinghi. Nyahbinghi, like a child from royal family, her ancestry stems from the dynasty of ancient Rwandan kings. In this regard, it cannot go unsaid the pedigree of Nyahbinghi. As Rwanda has different kinds of kings, from mythical kings, among them Kigwa and Kimanuka, wealthy kings, to historical kings, our focus will be from historical kings who were recognized in the history recorded within the boundaries of Kingdom of Rwanda. For the sake of clarity, Nyahbinghi's ancestry begins with historical kings.
The spirit of Nyahbinghi was not confined to ancient times. In the early 20th century, Queen Nyahbinghi of Rwanda, also known as Muhumusa, emerged as a formidable leader against colonial oppression. She led a rebellion against the British, inspired by the same spirit of resistance and protection that characterized the ancient goddess Sekhmet. Centuries later, the Nyahbinghi spirit found new life within the Rastafari movement. Emerging in Jamaica in the 1930s, Rastafari sought to reconnect with African roots and resist colonial oppression. The Nyahbinghi order, one of the most important groups within this movement, drew upon the warrior spirit of Nyahbinghi to inspire their rituals, drumming, and chants. Both Sekhmet and Nyahbinghi symbolize protection, justice, and healing. The lioness, a potent symbol in both traditions, represents courage and strength. This connection between ancient mythology and modern spirituality highlights a continuum of resilience and empowerment that transcends borders and epochs. Today, the legacy of Sekhmet and Nyahbinghi endures. From spiritual practices to artistic expressions, their influence is evident. Modern Rastafari continue to honor these ancient symbols, integrating them into a contemporary context that speaks to ongoing struggles for justice and identity. The story of Sekhmet, from the temples of ancient Egypt to the hills of Jamaica, is a testament to the enduring power of myth and spirit. As we honor her legacy, we recognize the strength and resilience that connects us all. The lioness roars on, a symbol of protection, justice, and healing across time and space.
The Nyahbinghi is thousands of years old. It's not a 100-year thing limited to Jamaica. If you will research Queen Musa, who did not inaugurate but recalled the Nyahbinghi, like Haile Selassie also.
History of the Nyahbinghi comes from Queen Nyahbinghi, come from Kikezi, Uganda.
She was a great drummer and she was a warrior queen. So, true, we use the drum, and we know that she was a great drummer. Play a drum for 4 or 5 hours at a time.
But the warrior queen, Nyahbinghi, is really where the idea came from.
She was a warrior lady, you know. We do a lot of fight physically on the battlefield to protect the tradition of black people, not even Rastafari and all, you know, but black people. That lady, as far as I know, is the one that comes for equal rights and justice to everyone, you know. And I could have a tradition, you know, by the name of Nyahbinghi.
Queen Nyahbinghi rise up against the colonial powers. She was a mystic. And it is said that she is the defender of the poor and the oppressed. That's basically it. Just like Nyahbinghi order. Because in early Jamaica in 1920s, it was a colonial rule at that time. So Rastafari rise up through anti-colonial struggle of total oppression in the 1920s come right down to now. So we could easily identify with the struggles of Queen Nyahbinghi and relate it to Jamaica in that colonial era.
The Rastafari brethren them, so well, we use Nyahbinghi. At the time, they used to say Nyahbinghi means death, the white oppressor. And after a while they changed it, the black and white oppressor.
In those days, Rastafari couldn't chant like here. It had to be in some deep bush. And it wasn't something built pretty like this. It was just a stick with a tarpaulin. But it was somewhere where you had to really walk and go.
There was no special place that we used to chant. All of us come together and one brethren would say, you know, I man can host the groundation of the gates.
You know, so the next bingy they out of pit 4, and you would tell him, and he would tell somebody else.